Jackson with me, and I have his daughter, who's Jessica Jackson. How are you both?
Great.
Good.
Now, you're both doing absolutely great. They're also in the business, as we call it, the entertainment business, which is absolutely fabulous. It's absolutely great. And also always doing very well in Vegas. How good is it doing for the two of you?
Well, actually, we just relocated here, a month ago?
Yeah, it's been
Really?
about a
Oh,
month.
you're relocated, which means you used to be...
Relocated. We used to live here a long time ago, and then we moved to Midwest for work, and then we just moved back last month to Vegas.
So how does it feel to be back again? Were you born here?
No, I wasn't. I was born back there.
Back there.
So how's it now for a second round?
Oh, it's great. I mean, we were able to.
Changed.
It has changed a lot. Has changed a lot, but it's familiar at the same time. So we're excited to get going. We're just getting set up. Just got studio set up, and looking forward to kind of getting going.
What you do, you actually produce plays.
You're
a playwright.
I'm a playwright, and I produce and direct and act and write the music for my plays.
So you do it from beginning to the end.
From beginning to end, yeah.
And what got you into that? It was something you've always done?
No, it's not something I always done. Someone asked me to do it, kind of at the spur of the moment, and then it kind of took off from there. So
and you liked it?
I found my thing. Yeah, I found my thing.
It's great to find your thing.
Yeah, I found my
Sometimes it takes longer than others.
It does. It does.
So now this is your daughter.
This is my daughter.
And so, do you mind working with Dad? And is it okay? And do we have any kind of little friction? Fathers and daughters get on. I don't know if his mothers and daughters get on.
Yeah.
As well. That's a little tricky. Yeah. Women to women is very hard.
Yeah, that's harder. But working with Dad it's pretty easy. We get along pretty well.
You get along well, so you don't mind taking direction from him?
No.
Because you're actually learning the business.
Yeah. And he knows what he's talking about, so I listen.
90% of the time.
Most of the time. Yeah.
When it comes to dates and everything else, that's
I'm not reasonable then, right?
Not reasonable at all. No one's having my daughter. So what do you play? What part do you play in the business?
Well, I'm actually the choreographer, and so for the opening numbers and different things like that, that's where I come in to play. I make up, all the dances, the movements for the characters, things like that. I've also been acting in some of the plays. I've danced in some of the plays. I've actually sang in one.
So you're a singer as well?
Yes.
Does that run in the family?
Well, no, not really.
Maybe you were a singer.
No. I sing well enough to teach.
Yeah, get away with it.
To teach. So I write rough drafts and record the music in my studio, so I can do the parts and do everything, and then I take that draft and send it to my music director.
And they put it all together.
Right.
What are the themes that you go for? Because I know you've got it's Strive. So what do you go for in your plays? What message are you giving out?
It varies. Every playwright has multiple messages in them, and I write the messages down first. Then I'm surrounded with all of my foolishness and my comedy and the music, but I make sure that the messages make it all the way through.
Messages right at the very beginning.
Yes. So they're messages to encourage people and to enlighten people, and you want the audience to leave, be thought provoked and to have something to think about when they leave the show.
Yeah, and also to give themselves ideas of maybe to attach to their family,
Right.
So you can actually help your family in guiding them what you can do and what you can't do and what is kind of right and what is wrong.
I like them to be relatable, so you'll see characters that that are maybe you, and so I want people to be able to relate to the characters and the stories and to be able to implement those in their own lives.
So you've got two different characters here. We've got you as an older person and then you as a younger person, and so we sometimes see this in a very different light out there, because you're 20 years or whatever it is, but I always say a parent is normally 20 to 25 years ahead of the kids.
Right.
So what you think, and this is 25 years back, is not quite what you want your daughter to do, because you didn't do that at that age. So this can come a little complicated. So you all know what I'm talking about now. So you've got two different ideas coming together. How do you manage that? Because your ideas are certainly not the same as his. So we kind of, because it can't be, because it's 25, 20 years later. So it has to be different because the world's growing.
Right.
We all have different thoughts and we have changes. What is the difference that you two have between that?
Well, for me, well, he does all of the like creativity, the writing for the musicals.
Yes.
And so I come in and I just kind of feed off of him. So,
But
he
you bring in your
I
talent.
do bring
Your
in my
young-
talent.
your young
yeah.
talent.
But he's very open-minded. So whenever I have an idea, he listens and he's like, okay, you know, we can kind of see where that goes.
Like this is of the teenagers,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
of the younger generation.
Right.
Yeah, and he
happening
always
today.
puts
So you let that
things,
come in.
Yeah,
Yes.
he lets
Yeah.
that come in. So
Yeah, because I think it should come in because we're changing all the time. And I think if we try to deaden it and always be, you know, it's like everybody says, oh, I love the old music, but I don't like the modern music. Well,
Yeah.
hello, we're still going to have the modern music.
Right.
So, you know, so when you write something, how do you feel about writing it? Do you get the ideas from your daughter, from what's going on in everyday life?
Well, music has been my first love. So as a kid, I was doing music. So
Really?
I always have melodies in my head,
Yeah.
and I can go to the piano and I can write those down. But I don't write lyrics to them until after I write the script.
So how do you get, you know, this is always kind of bothered me, is that every song you hear is totally different.
Yeah.
How are we able to think of so many different tunes and so many different ways of bringing you know, you listen, they all have different words, that's for sure. But, you know, maybe some of the song words were just switched around a bit. But the music is always different.
Right.
And there's a hit song and there's not a hit song.
Well, I think people, individuals who are in music, have their own style, but then they're also influenced by a lot of different styles
Yeah.
and a lot of different. And so I think when you combine that, it creates this newness
Yeah.
that they, you know. So I don't really have a style. I like R&B. I like old jazz.
But
I
you
like.
still bring
I
up
like-
your own songs. You
Yes,
still-
right.
I mean, is your desire to actually play something and have something, and obviously for it to be a hit? How do you get that?
Well, see, because my approach is different. Because I'm not looking for a hit song. I'm looking for that song
Why
to
not?
move the story in my play.
To make it a hit.
Right. Right.
Okay, so we want to get a hit somewhere.
We,
along
yeah,
there.
we want the
So-
package.
so
I'm doing
his
more of a
package
package.
is
Yeah.
you are diverted by doing the music, writing the lyrics, getting the play together to have a hit play.
Right.
So okay, so we've got you into a hit play. You have a hit play, Broadway.
I would love to do
See,
Broadway.
I knew that was something he would love.
Yes,
Maybe
I mean
not a hit song, but he wants a hit play.
hit play. I want a hit play because I like the collaboration. I like all the pieces. I like the comedy and the drama. I like the music. I like the emotion and the acting and the characters. I like the whole package, not just one piece of it. Is probably why I do all of it, because you know I like the whole package. So people ask me, would you want to direct this or would you want to come and do this and do that? And I'm like, I kind of really like the whole thing.
You
So
like to
it's-
do the whole thing
I do.
together.
I like to
'Cause
see it
I
start
didn't
from
write
nothing.
I didn't write a play, but I wrote something about the younger generation. And I wrote something about the kids coming in from town, and it arrives with this one young girl comes into town. She's like 16 years old. She ends up in a cafe, you know, making money and whatever she has to do. This guy comes along, and he's actually a pimp, but she doesn't know it. And there's the whole story. kind of
Right,
goes around
right.
this. So there's a girl that really doesn't have much background as of an education, but then I have the other group that are highly educated but have no money. So they're both poor groups. They both don't have any money per se, but
Right.
they both have something. And then they intermingle, and this is how the play is written, and they ends up. You know, it's like a West Side Story.
Right.
Yeah, mine's like a West Side Story with a younger generation, but a lot of the music is involved in it.
Yes, I have to have the, you know, that's kind of my formula. I have to have the music. So every play will have 7 to 10
Really?
songs in them. Probably at least 3 or 4 of those we try to make a musical number, which is where she'll come in and do choreography and they'll dance and they'll do all of that stuff. She's been doing it. She's been, maybe not because she wanted to, but since she was like 11 or 12,
Yeah.
I've been
Because you
sticking
made
her in.
it.
I've been, so she's done solo dances
You
and
had no
different
choice,
things.
believe me,
have a
lady. No choice. You had to do it. So you've got 4 different plays here. Are these the recent plays of yours?
These are 4 that I have here, and I've done a total of 9.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Really? And they've been obviously out of state, not in state.
They've been out of state. They've been in Midwest. They've been in New Orleans and Kansas
How
City.
well have they done for your feeling?
They've done pretty good. They've
Yeah.
done pretty good. And the way I measure them, I mean, we've always had good crowds, but how I measure is when you do the meet and greet after the show.
Yes.
And the people come to you and tell you how they were affected by what they just saw.
And has it been pretty cool?
Yeah,
very good.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
But,
pretty good.
Actually, Stanley is SJM Productions, so if you want to get in touch with him, we'll get all his information. What are you writing now, and what are you doing for Vegas now?
Right now, yeah, I'm excited to, we're in Vegas now.
Vegas, tell me
So
this.
I'm writing a new script, and it's called Main Street Park. And it's about people from various walks of life who live in this neighborhood, but they all go to this park. And this is where they celebrate their achievements. This is where they mourn over the things that didn't go so well, relationships.
Kind of mixed
all
crew.
of that stuff goes on in the park.
The yin
Yeah.
and the yang going on
Right,
there.
right. And then you got just
Yin and yang in the park.
you got lots of crazy things going on in the park. So there's a lot of music, it's a lot of comedy, a lot of messages at the same time. But it's I'm excited.
Okay, talking about messages, what message would you like to give out there for anybody who's going to be a playwright?
Well, for one thing, know that it is a lot. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. But you can't be discouraged by that, and you can't measure the success of that play that you do right by how many people are sitting out there.
Because you only need one.
You only need one to tell you that it changed their life or that they got that message.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
really what you do it for. If you're doing it because your main goal
want
is
the
to have all of
stardom
it.
and all that
Yeah,
crazy
yeah. It takes a lot of work to
Yeah.
get to where you start building a base and getting crowds and getting the system in place. So
Yeah.
you
And
just
what-
got to stay the course.
Absolutely. And what is your goal? What is you? How old are you, by the way?
I'm 22.
22. She's really young.
Yeah.
Perfect age, isn't it? Absolutely perfect age. To move. So what is your challenge, and what do you want out of all this, and what do you see in the future for you that your talents are?
Well, I'm not really sure where I want to end up, but right now, I
Well,
know
you probably
that.
end up with a married with a husband.
Yeah, yeah.
That's gonna be where. That's
yes,
the right.
definitely.
That's
If I allow
If
that.
he allows.
what can I say?
But yes, definitely with choreography and dance, I want to go as far as I can, and I want to be further, yes. And I want to be a well-rounded performer. So I want to get better at singing, better at acting and dancing. And I mean, if I
Would you
could make it to
be-
Broadway, that'd be great.
Yeah. Would you like to become a number one?
Sure.
Then
yes.
only you can do that. Tell them, everybody has the same chance in this world, and it has nothing to do with money. Everybody thinks, especially the younger generation, well, if only I had this money, I could go here, I could go there, and I could do this. It has nothing to do with money.
Right.
It's only to do with talent. So if you've got the talent, but if you really work hard at it, and you kind of try to be different to everybody else, and you think, well, I can't be different because then I won't get in here and I won't get in there. That's when you will get in there, is when you're different. And
Right.
taking that gamble. I mean, I'm sure you've taken many gambles.
Lots of gambles.
Some have won and some you haven't won. But if you don't,
You have to.
No.
You kind of gotta, you gotta set a goal and you just gotta go for it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'm getting in September in Atlanta. I'm getting the Trailblazer Award for
I
playwrights
love
and a playwrights game.
Trailblazer
So
Award.
so you can see I've been kind of doing my own thing.
does she get half the award?
She gets everybody, the cast and everybody that's been part of this.
I'm just
I share them all.
making sure.
I say that they belong to them.
Checking
Yeah.
to make sure you get your part, because I always have my back for the younger generation. I love them. I think they're amazing. I love to listen to them. I think they're nothing like when I was young. They've got so much more to them than I had or you had. Or,
Right.
They do more. They have more and everything.
Right.
When's your next play coming up, and what's the name of it?
It's called Main Street Park,
Main Street Park, as you said.
and we're hoping to do it late summer.
Late summer.
Late summer,
How long
early
does
fall.
it take to get a play together?
Well, from when I start, actually, writing is one thing, but once I actually start production,
Yeah.
2 to 3 months.
Yeah, it takes 2 to 3 months.
You
to
got to
get a play,
cast and
which is perfect. Okay,
6 to 8
perfect.
weeks of rehearsals.
When
and
can
then
they
we go.
find you?
sjmproductions.com.
There you go. Absolutely wonderful.
Playwright Stanley Jackson on Facebook.
Okay, wonderful. They've both been absolutely amazing. We shall be right back with our next guest.